friends, today I'm going to show you how to create a sequence using R programming language. So hope you all know sequence. Sequence is a set of numbers that has a particular gap, exactly same gap in between two consecutive points. Okay, so for an example, all the natural numbers is a sequence that has the gap in between two consecutive points equals to 1. All the even numbers is another sequence that has the gap in between two consecutive points equals to 2. So likewise, so today we are going to learn how to create that kind of sequence using R. So there are two methods basically to create a sequence. The first method is to use colon. You will use colon only if the gap in between two consecutive points equals to 1. Otherwise, you are going to use another method which is using CSEQ function. Okay, so if you are using colon, let me show you an example. For an example, I'm going to create a sequence from 1 to 11. Okay, so let's say gap equals to 1. In that case, I will assign it as sequence 1. It contains all the natural numbers from 1 to 11 and the gap is 1. So in that case, we can use colon. Okay, so when we run this command and type print the sequence, it will give us all the numbers from 1 to 11. And if you need to create sequence from 2 to 12 and the gap equals to 2, in that case you can use the function SEQ. Let me show you the details regarding SEQ function. As you can see, it's a function that we use to generate sequences. Okay, so there are basically five arguments that may be very useful to you. Basically, since you have three informations given here, which are the starting points, the ending points, and the gap, then you may need to use these first three arguments from the sequence. Okay, so from indicates where to start the sequence, to indicates where to end the sequence, by indicates the gap in between two consecutive points. Let's say how to create the sequence from the given information. So we use a sequence function, and then we have to give the starting point from equals to 2 and up to 12, and the gap equals to 2. So this will give you the sequence of all the even numbers in between 2 and 12. And if you need to create the sequence starting from 2 and the gap should be equals to 2, but the length of the sequence equals to 100, then as you can see, there isn't an endpoint. Instead of giving endpoint, it has given a length for the sequence. So in that case, you have to use another argument called length.out. And if you notice that since there isn't an endpoint for the sequence, you can't use the to argument anymore. So in that case, let's see how to create the sequence 3. Is a sequence starting from, I will specify the from argument, that is 2, and we don't have the two argument value, and the gap is equals to 2, and length dot out equals to 100, and that will print our sequence 3. Right, and think it has given the starting point of the sequence and the gap, and the length should be equals to the length of the sequence 3. Okay, so in that case, let's say starting point is 3 for a small change, and the gap has been given as 2, and the length of the sequence equals to the length of the sequence 3. So in that case, we create another sequence which is sequence 4, and the function is sequence. Starting point is equals to 3, and the gap is equals to 2, and now our length is the length of another sequence. So in that case, we are going to use a new argument along with, right? So let me show you how to use that argument. So in that case, we are going to generate the sequence to the exact length of the sequence 3. So in that case, we don't use length.out argument. Instead, we are using along with argument. Okay, so I think you are clear with all the basic and compulsory commands of the arguments of the SEQ function. So that is how we use both colon and SEQ function in order to generate sequences. So hope you understood how to generate sequences from this video. If you like to view more video like this, please make sure to subscribe my channel, and please put some likes, and see you on the next session. Bye bye.